Today we reached the third part of the part flower. In the first two half, we discussed the basic structure of a flower. What are the essential components of a flower? You studied corolla, calyx, androecium and gynoecium. How they are arranged, what is estivation, what is the different conditions of fusion, different conditions of flower based on the symmetry, position of floral whorls, etc. And now let us move on to androecium and its types. So there are two different phenomenon, that is cohesion and adhesion. You know, the fusion or union of stamens among themselves is called cohesion. When stamens and stamens fused, that is known as cohesion. When they fuse to another whorl or organ, that is known as adhesion. Okay, so it is mainly called Adelphi. The condition is called Adelphi and Adelphus. It is of three types, that is fusion of stamens. First one is when filaments are fused. You know the basic structure of the stamens having the anther and filament, clear? So filaments are fused and anthers are free. That fused filaments form a tube known as staminal tube, clear? Filaments fused and anthers free, that is Adelphi, clear? Then monadelphi means filaments of all stamens fused to form one bundle. There is one bundle where filaments of all stamens fused. What is free here? Anther free. So Adelphi is a condition where filaments fused and anthers free. There are different types of Adelphi. First one is monadelphus. Monadelphi or monadelphus, where mono means single. All the filaments are fused together and form a single bundle or one bundle. Example is pea plant, clear? Then next, diadelphous condition. What is diadelphous? The term di means two. Filaments of all stamen fused to form two bundles, clear? Filaments fused to form two bundles, that is known as diadelphous. Then example, diadelphous condition example, you can have crotalaria. Okay. Then polyadelphous. What is polyadelphous? Filaments fused to form more than two bundles. Okay. Example is citrus and lemon. Understood? So what is Adelphi? Fusion of filaments and anthers free. What are the three conditions? Monadelphi, filaments fused to form single bundle. What is diadelphi? Filaments fused to form two bundles. What is polyadelphi? Filaments fused to form more than two bundles. I hope you understood well. Clear? Okay. Next. This is the picture that shows the different types of fusion. This is the monadelphous condition you observe in hibiscus. See here, this is the staminal tube formed and these are the anthers. Staminal tube. All the filaments fused to form a single tube. Okay. This is another condition, second condition, monadelphi. Here also single bundle. You can see here a vessel-like structure, filaments fused. This is the diadelphi. See, this is one bundle. This is another one extra single. Okay, so two bundles. That is diadelphi. Clear? This is also that example of Adelphi, diadelphi. Then this is polyadelphi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bundles filaments. Okay, so single bundle, two bundles, more than 5, two bundles. That is monadelphi, diadelphi and polyadelphi. Okay. Now the next two conditions. First one is Adelphi. Then Adelphi is of three types. Second one is syngenaceous. What do you mean by syngenaceous? Anthers fused, filaments free. So you should compare that with Adelphi. What is Adelphi? Filaments fused, anthers free. Here what is the condition? Anthers fused, filaments free. Example, sunflower. Then third category is synandry. What is synandry? Both anthers and filaments fused together. One example is cucumber, Cucurbitaceae family. Okay. So what are the conditions? Once again, syngenaceous means anthers fused, filaments free. Sunflower and Tridax example. Synandry means whole thing, that is anthers and filaments fused. So what are the three conditions? Adelphi means filaments fused, anthers free. Syngenaceous means anthers fused, filaments free. Synandry means whole thing. Anthers and filaments fused. So these three are coming under the first category, cohesion. Okay. Now, you can see the pictures. This is monadelphi, I already told. This is diadelphi. This is polyadelphi. What is this? The condition is syngenaceous. See, what is syngenaceous? Filaments free, anthers fused. Clear? Anthers are all fused, filaments are free. Syngenaceous. What is synandry? Filaments fused, anthers fused. Both fused. Okay. So, Adelphi, syngenaceous, synandry. Synandry and syngenaceous. Here filaments free. Here what is free? Anthers free. Clear? Now, next part is the adhesion. What is adhesion? Union of stamens with other floral whorls like sepals, petals, gynoecium. Here stamen itself fused is the first part, cohesion. Then stamen with the other floral whorls. You studied calyx, corolla, gynoecium. Okay. So, different types. Episepalous. What is episepalous? Filaments fused with the sepals. Filaments fused with the petal is epipetalous. Filaments you can see attached on the petals. Many examples are there. Brinjal one example. Epiphyllous. Filaments fused with the tepal. What is a tepal? When there is no distinction into sepals and petals. That is known as tepal. No distinction into sepals and petal. Perianth. In some cases, when you take an example of a lily, you cannot differentiate sepal and petal. So, that is known as tepal. Okay. So, if it is a filaments fused with a tepal, that is epiphyllous. Then what is gynandrous? Anthers united with the stigma is known as gynostegium. The condition is gynandrous. See, gynoecium and andrecium. Anther united with a stigma. Okay. This you can see in orchids also, you can see in calotropis also. Eric, the plant you know. So, gynandry. So, what is meant by adhesion? Fusion of stamens with some other floral whorls like sepals, petals, etc. What are the conditions? Episepalous means filaments fused with the sepal. Epipetalous means filaments with the petal. Epiphyllous means filaments with the tepals. Then gynandrous means andrecium or stamen with the stigma. Stigma is a part of gynoecium and the forming a structure, that structure is known as gynostegium. Clear? It's very important. You will study while we are discussing the families. Then you will know what is gynostegium. An example is calotropis. So, for only this much for today's about andrecium. So, what is cohesion? What is adhesion? Cohesion is fusion of stamens among themselves. Here, if filaments free, anthers fused is one condition. Then anthers free, filaments fused is another condition. Both anthers and filaments fused is third condition. So, Adelphi, syngenaceous and synandry. You have to differentiate. Adelphi is monadelphi, diadelphi, polyadelphi. That three are together coming under cohesion. Then, what is adhesion? Stamens with some other whorls like sepal, petal, gynoecium. That is adhesion. Adhesion is episepalous, epipetalous, then epiphyllous, gynandrous. Okay. So, I conclude here. So, you have to study well. What I took today is all important, asking for short answers, questions, essay questions, so on. So, study well and have a nice day. Thank you.